what's going on? Josh Skinner here. Uncagedfitness.net, uncagedfighter.com, and lingkongjing.com. I'm here at Raja Academy of Martial Arts. And today what I want to talk to you about is, I'm going to continue something I started a long time ago. I know it's been a long time, but we're going to talk about the Ling Kong Jing. Okay? We're going to go over the two fundamental standing postures, the two Jiangzhong postures from Ling Kong Jing A and Ling Kong Jing B. These two postures form the foundation of your Ling Kong Jing standing practice. Now, Ling Kong Jing ultimately stems from Xingyi down to Yishuan as it was originally taught. So this is Ling Kong Jing training is basically a subset of Yishuan training. So it's going to be, it's obviously very, if you know anything about Yishuan, Yishuan is very heavy with, especially at the beginning, they front load a lot of standing practice, while the Ling Kong Jing as well is heavy into standing meditation. So, we're going to get into the postures. We're going to go over the two fundamental postures. The first thing you need to make sure that you've done before getting into the standing postures is one, you've done a good mobility warm-up, just some light joint circles, joint rotations, things like that, and you've done the pushing and pulling hands Qigong. If you are unsure of what the pushing and pulling hands Qigong is, I've done a video on it years ago. I'll put a link somewhere on the screen and a link in the description to that video, so you can go ahead and check that out. So you want to go warm up with some joint mobility drills. You want to do the pushing and pulling hands Qigong, as I've recommended, and then you'll get into these two postures. Now, traditionally, you start off with the first posture. I call it just hands resting on the lake posture. That's generally what everyone learns first, and you stay with that for a significant period of time before learning posture 2. But we're actually going to go over both postures in this video, and I'll explain kind of how we're going to use that. So, first posture, as I said, call it hands resting on the lake, and you'll see why in a second. First, let's set up our feet. So my feet are going to be about a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I like having a good wide stance. You'll see a lot of people teaching standing meditation, teaching Jiangzhong with kind of a narrow stance, right? But because the Ling Kong Jing is a martial Qigong system, it's a martial standing system that builds power for fighters, I like to take a much wider stance. I feel like it develops a lot more leg power, okay? So a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. The next thing I'm going to do has to do with my lower back. So neutral spinal posture, it's you have that kind of S-shaped curve in your spine. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to actively kind of tuck my butt in. That causes some tension in the rectus abdominis muscle in the front, and that's going to pull my hips. Your hips kind of sit like a bowl. What that's going to do is it's going to kind of pull the hips in that manner. It's going to stretch the spine. Okay. That's what we're looking for. So I've got my back flat. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to imagine as though I've got a string attached to the crown of my head, just kind of pulling my head up, my chin in. And again, that's going to kind of stretch my cervical spine right there. Okay? And then I'm going to just slightly, you don't want to overdo it, just slightly kind of round the shoulders just a bit. You're kind of striving to achieve that flat back posture. Okay? So, get the stance from the front. Achieve that flat back posture. Almost kind of give yourself like an ugly fat chin right there. Just like that. Okay? Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of actively, just real light, going to grip the ground with my toes. Okay? Kind of establish that root. Okay? Really, really sink in with my legs. Okay. Spine right, got everything right. Now with my hands, okay? Like I said, this is called the hands resting on the lake posture. All I'm going to do, from about, you got nipple level here, you got sternum diaphragm level here, you got kind of where the floating ribs are, about here-ish. This is where I'm going to come out from. And my hands right there. You can imagine I've got like golf balls under my armpits to keep those nice and open. Slight bend at the elbows. Got my my hands, they're not straight, they're not relaxed, they're kind of in the middle. Good tiger jaw position right there with the hands. Just resting, just like that. From the side, like this. I'm really letting my shoulders relax here. I really am imagining as though my hands are on a tabletop. My hands and forearm are on kind of a tabletop. And just kind of letting them relax. You know, when everything kind of just sink down, I'm holding a lot of tension up here in my neck. Just letting it relax, man. Just letting those elbows sink. Real kind of heavy. Really, really striving to root here. Okay? Once we're in this posture, we're going to commence another angle you guys can look at. You know, notice my elbows aren't right here, so I'm actually extended out a decent bit. Okay? Establish that root. And from this position, you're actually going to meditate in that position. Okay? You're going to place your tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth. Breathing in and out of your nose, using the Buddhist style of breathing. Now, the Buddhist style of breathing is where your lower abdomen will expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. So how that looks, hopefully you can see it on screen. So as I inhale, my belly's going to protrude. Then I'm going to exhale, bring it back to a relaxed position. Inhale, exhale. Relax, okay? So you're in you can't feel self-conscious about letting your belly kind of be a little fat for a second. So inhale out, exhale in. So again, like I said, we're going to kind of meditate in this position, all right? Hands resting on the leg. Establish my root with my feet. I kind of take my feet and almost twist, very, very slight. I'm not putting a lot of tension here, but I almost like draw my feet almost inward as I'm gripping with my toes. That really, really establishes a firm root. Really firm, solid position there. And I'm just going to meditate here. Buddhist breathing. We'll let all that tension just kind of sink down into my legs, sink down to the earth. Make any sort of adjustments necessary, especially at the beginning. I'm just going to hold that posture. Now, you know, traditionally, these postures are held for extended periods of time. We're talking, I believe Paul Don recommends like an hour just in this posture, which is an extreme amount of time. I don't recommend holding this for an hour. I wouldn't hold this particular stance for more than 10 minutes. Okay? Really for fighters, if you're doing a lot of back work, you know, if you're really prepping for a fight, you're doing a lot of forms work, you're doing a lot of shadow boxing, you're doing a lot of conditioning on the side, you know, you probably don't have a lot of time in your day to be standing in this position for an hour. So what I would recommend is, you know, no more than 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes will actually get you pretty good results. But, you know, generally speaking, 10 minutes is a good way. I really like to, you know, for my personal workouts, one thing I like to do is I like to cool down at the end of the workout with these postures. So, you know, I might head home, I might just stay here at the gym if the gym's kind of empty and quiet, and I'll actually hold these postures. I'll probably do like 20 minutes just holding the postures, just relaxing. So let's get into the second posture now. Everything else is the same with the exception of where your hands and arms are positioned. So, you You know, you got your feet same position, spine same position, neck same position. So from here, all I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna bring my hands up to around my face. You know, you've seen kind of this, I'm sure you've probably seen this embrace the tree posture. Well, I call this one the high embrace because you're kind of, it's still an embrace posture, but it's almost like you're giving a really tall person a hug, right? So your hands are about up here at your face. Again, this one's just gonna be a little more difficult because your hands are so high, it's a lot more difficult to relax those shoulders. But my hands are about a fist width distance apart. And again, I'm gonna meditate in this posture as well. Make any adjustments as necessary. Just let all that tension sink down. Focus on my breathing. On the front. Okay. And again, that's another posture you've meditated in. Traditional requirements, I've heard anything from 30 minutes to an additional hour. So you would hold, you know, traditionally you would hold hands resting on the leg for an hour, up here for 30 minutes to another hour, right there. So for, you know, an hour and a half to 2 hours total standing meditation time. Now, again, I feel like that is simply excessive. You know, so at most I would hold, you know, the first one 10 minutes, second one 5-10 minutes. Okay, you know, no more than 20 minutes. Most days it's probably going to be somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes worth of total standing time for me, and that's going to build a lot of leg strength. It's going to build a lot of postural structural strength. It's going to calm your mind. It's going to really help you center. And it's really going to improve your ability to recover because you're learning to actively relax in a somewhat uncomfortable position, right? And you know, you're just letting your whole system just calm down. So if you know you're doing a lot of hard workouts and things like that, this training method really does help you recover. But at the same time, it also builds that kind of really good structural strength. A lot of endurance, especially in the legs. You know, if you're holding this posture for 10, you know, you're holding this position for 10 minutes, you're building a lot of lower body endurance. And that's, you know, that will carry over to other aspects of your training. It'll make everything, your ability to perform work, your work capacity will improve as a result of that. You know, we can get into the whole, you know, internal energy, the nervous system, you know, functioning at a much higher capacity, call it chi, call it whatever you want. The method works, okay? It will make you stronger. You know, I don't want to get too esoteric on you guys, but it is a fantastic method for building endurance, building the ability to relax, to be centered. So it really is a very, very effective method. You know, if you have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out to me. My contact info will be in the description. Look forward to more training methods coming. This is, you know, just kind of the tip of the iceberg for the Ling Kong Jing system. We'll be going over history coming up. We'll be going over other training methods, some of the fighting methods associated with the Ling Kong Jing. So again, stay tuned. Keep checking back at the channel. I'll have further videos for you guys. If you do like this video, if you like, you know, you want to see more of this, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. And thank you very much.